It's October, and you know what that means. The best holiday of the year is right around the corner. That means candy, horror, and costumes. Or just a normal day in the life of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Anyways, that means this grab bag will be full of ghost stories. I'll be dissecting 3 episodes to see what makes them tick. So, let's begin. First on the chopping block is Ragnarok and Roll from the real Ghostbusters. Are you kidding me? Who comes up with this shit? This better be miraculous to compensate for that title. What you need to know, they're the Ghostbusters. So, we open with creepy music, a storm, and 2 men approaching a temple of some kind. The less Igor-looking one, Jeremy, is an edgelord with the cadence of a southern preacher.
But, Master Jeremy, the words...
I do not need them. They're inscribed within my heart and upon my soul.
And Daitulio is hilarious.
Well, that must have been pretty painful. I had a tattoo once myself.
Upon speaking the words, Jeremy somehow becomes even more edgelord. Man, he would have been so cool back when Hybrid Theory was my favorite album. Cut to the Ghostbusters, who are greeted by demons from nowhere.
Okay, let's try it again.
Wait, again? They just got here, you haven't tried anything yet.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Come on.
So they retreat back to home base to figure out just what's going on. There's some weak attempts at humor.
You say you transplant his brain into a chicken next time he made fun of me.
And apparently, there's occurrences forming a pentagram around a singular point. Some woman's house. She seems to be the reason why Jeremy has a sudden fascination with the color black.
He wanted to marry me, but I have a career to establish. It isn't the right time yet to settle down.
She also has a message from him that apparently has a single word written on it.
It's just one word. Ragnarok.
Awesome! I cannot wait till Fenrir, Jormungandr, and Nidhogg arrive. The device explodes, and the Busters head out again. Well, this end of the world is somewhat boring. Natural disasters and such because of Jeremy's flute thing, light humor again, and Jeremy starts getting even less discriminant in his violence. Your basic end of the world stuff, and the particle beams don't work well on the demon spawn. Basically, they're set to ghost, not demon.
The beams are attuned to the ionization rate of ectoplasm, ghosts. These things work on a different frequency.
Generally, there's just a lot of padding in here. The Busters get to the top of the building where Jeremy is hanging out. Cindy's all like, wait, I can talk him down from this.
Please, let me talk to him.
Girl, he's ending the world. Really not the time? So, she talks with him while the Busters fidget with their packs. Stuff is about to go down, then wind picks up and blows Cindy off the building. But Daitulio leaps to save her. There's a big humanizing speech thing.
Yes, I'm small and I'm twisted and I'm ugly, but at least I'm still human.
Jeremy stops shopping at Hot Topic and plays a concert. The apocalypse has other plans, however, but the Busters shoot the weird face in the sky and the apocalypse is averted. Through weird magic stuff, everything is then reversed. Happy ending with no consequences for anybody. Absolutely riveting stuff there. So the production quality of this is pretty decent, but damn is there a lot of nothing going on in this. Decent editing could likely get this episode down to 2/3 of its runtime. In addition, some of the humor is totally effortless. Speaking of, Venkman's lines are some of the worst delivered that I've ever heard.
Actually, you're right. The end of the world is upon us. We're the Ghostbusters. We're trained to meet the unusual before it happens. It's a great plan. Count me in.
On top of that, the episode's about Ragnarok, a very specific apocalypse. And the best apocalypse that they can provide is a bunch of bat demons and the tragedy half of the drama mess getting superimposed on the sky. How absolutely vague can you get? It would be more interesting if it was just your standard burning city hellscape. Now, I haven't seen much of this show, but given the impressions of this one episode, I really don't see much reason to give it any more of my time. Next up is a show that's incredibly similar in its premise. Still catching ghosts, still a relatively normal world. The one key difference is...
He's a phantom.
Everything you need to know about it is in the theme song. So go listen to that quickly if you need to. Or listen to it anyway, it's a banger. We open with Danny tempting fate.
One day where I get home on time without any ghost detours making me miss my 10 o'clock curfew. Or not.
These old vultures are looking for his dad. After a sorry excuse for a joke,
I'm a whiz at dodgeball! Okay, technically it's dodge beak, but who cares?
and brief cartoon violence, he drives them off. But it's after 10 o'clock.
You're late again, young man.
Oh, poop.
Boo! Try harder! Quick side note, these opening credit cards are something that I've always liked. It makes it seem more cinematic, like it's a movie poster or something. We get some standard family dynamic stuff, which ends in a road trip. They're going to their parents' college reunion. There's some short transition stuff, nothing particularly interesting, but Dad tells a story about the guy's house that they're going to visit, Vlad Masters.
Wait. Masters? As in Vlad Masters? Who was named Affluence Magazine's Billionaire of the Year?
That's the guy.
Yeah, there's no way that guy's not the villain. Apparently, they haven't talked in a while because Jack is incompetent. And again, no way he's not the villain. Not so subtly, Vlad takes to Maddie and not to Jack.
Jack and Maddie. You've never looked lovelier, my dear.
And now we find out the most sinister thing about him.
Football helmets, jerseys, cheese heads. He's a Packers fanatic.
Growing up in Chicagoland, I've learned the truth of the wicked ways of the cheeseheads.
Why don't you just buy the team?
Because the Packers are owned by the city of Green Bay and they won't sell them to me.
Again, no way he's not the villain. More Telegraph villainy and weird Wisconsin pride.
Previously home to the legendary Wisconsin Dairy King.
That night, the vultures attack Jack again, so Danny goes to stop them, but runs into another mess entirely. After getting his ass handed to him in several different ways, he passes out.
The ghost boy is Jack's son?
Whoa, so surprising! No one could have seen it coming! The next day, Jazz makes realistic teenager decisions.
Aren't you coming to the reunion?
What? And watch a bunch of old fossils pogo to new wave music? Pass.
Jack embarrasses himself and everyone around him.
Okay, I'm officially mortified.
What took so long?
Oh, and we meet Reporter Woman. We see her a bit, but she's not that important. Vlad does entry-level manipulation.
Could you go to my lab, second door on the right upstairs?
And Danny runs into some old friends. It's not important that you know them beforehand. Although this joke will land much better if you do.
I've got to go to the library and check out a book on a gorilla.
Vlad reveals himself as the ghost from before.
Going ghost! Why can't I go ghost?
You have a battle cry, hilarious.
Also, I love him. He's now my favorite. He decides to go the Darth Vader route of villain.
I could train you, teach you everything I know.
You are one seriously crazed up Fruit Loop.
So, Vlad goes back to the party to mess with Jack. Vlad's Wisconsin pride ends up helping out Danny, who goes right back into the fray. A bunch of action stuff, and Danny learns stick shift on the fly at the age of 14. I call BS. When I learned, it took me an hour to successfully start the car once. Danny possesses Jack and threatens to expose both of them.
My parents will accept me no matter what, but if I expose you, well, what would my mom think of you?
Causing Vlad to give props and give up.
I am teaching you something after all. Very well. Truce.
We get some light wrap-up stuff and close. So, this is actually the first episode of the Danny Phantom larger story arc, and getting away from just one-offs. Overall, it's a fine job debuting the main villain, with some standard but believable motivations, and of course, he's got to be the foil to our lead. It's a really good way to start it off, narratively speaking. The writing in this episode is rather good in what it introduces, how it does that, and how it's all resolved. It's probably the best part of this episode. The humor, I find, is a bit hit or miss. Sometimes it's predictable and lacks any kind of ambition, but other times it works wonders.
I'm really sorry, Harriet. Sweetie, you married him. You should be.
The animation in the fight sequences are about the same way. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Overall, it's a rather good episode. Lastly, a show that doesn't revolve around ghosts. Shocker, right? Secrets from Young Justice. Now, it's a plot-heavy show, but this is largely a standalone episode. I'm gonna be cutting out a bit of continuity stuff, and I won't be crossing back and forth from the A plot and the B plot. Trust me, it'll work better this way. Anyways, on with it. We start off with some of the team preparing for a Halloween party. Kid Flash is hitting on Miss Martian because, of course he is.
You going as my favorite Martian?
And I don't know who's the one missing signals, but these crossed wires are great.
I mean, you did invite the whole team, right?
Yeah, we'll all be at the dance. So don't worry about us. Go, have a good time at your party.
Artemis and Zatanna arrive to further cross them.
Is the Justice League having a party? Because my dad didn't mention it.
No. See,
And Captain Marvel heads off. Then Zatanna asks a seemingly inane question.
So, how long have Connor and Megan been a couple?
Couple? No, they're not,
But it's more than enough to irritate Artemis. Not feeling up to hanging out with everyone else, Artemis starts to leave. But Zatanna has a different suggestion.
Well, there is another option. Eggnog setok ogni runo smrofinu. Girls' night out.
So, Superboy, Miss Martian, and Kid Flash head to the party, which is saturated by superhero costumes. Apparently, there's rumors about a Martian invasion going around.
He thinks we're being invaded by Martians?
Reports are all over the interwebs, and I'm not the only one getting them.
A bit later, the rumor's spreading.
Says here Martians have taken New Haven and Providence.
And over the intercom, a voice announces a potential threat.
Attention! Homeland Security advises everyone to stay inside the gymnasium.
Superboy, however, discerns the voice as Marvin, the one spreading the rumors from before. Marvin tries to keep everyone inside the building.
I have orders to keep everyone inside. Or did you freshmen want to become Martian Chow?
But is interrupted by Kid Flash running from the Martian threat.
Look out! They have disintegration rays.
Hijinks ensue, and, of course, it's all a ruse.
Come on, we do not want to miss this.
Marvin plays the comedic dope and outs himself as both the culprit.
The Martians just killed 2 guys!
Which 2 guys?
Those 2 guys!
And an idiot.
Wait!
Marvin?
At the beginning of the A-plot for this episode, we open with some cop investigating a stolen sword.
Legend says it provides great power to the pure of heart.
The NYPD will do its best, but the thief is obviously long gone.
Let's not rush to judgment. Mediocrity such as this is never far from harm.
Oh lord, and I thought the guy from Ghostbusters was edgy. That being said, at least Harm can back it up. He might be edgy, but at least he's cool.
Only the pure of heart should be able to summon that power.
The legend said the heart must be pure. It never said pure good.
And that's clever. I like that. We then cut back to Artemis and Zatanna, freshly leaving the hideout to hit the city. As they're patrolling the city, Artemis is working through her issues in the way she best knows how. After observing the two, it seems that Harm has found his challenge for the evening. Harm talks as one does before attacking at force.
Both must do better or suffer harm.
We get it! Your name is Harm.
In the ensuing chaos, Zatanna is beckoned by a young girl from the alleyway, and the two follow her. She seems to be rather mobile, and answers with only one word.
Thanks for the assist, but who are you?
Secret.
That won't cut it. We need answers. Do you know Harm? Does he have any weaknesses?
Secret.
More attempts to stop the pursuing Harm are thwarted. Harm gets overconfident.
You want to play without the toys?
It tries to bait Harm, leave Harm weak. But Harm has no weakness.
But again, he's got the moves to back it up. More fleeing and...
The its think to escape Harm, but draw near to home. Such considerate its.
Oh my god, what does that even mean? Harm then captures the two and puts them in separate rooms. He asks Artemis how they found his home.
Ask your partner. She lured us here.
Harm has no partner. Harm is pure and works alone.
The girl frees Zatanna and continues responding with one word.
Is this your room? Do you live with this nutjob?
Secret. Right, naturally.
Harm notices the other screen and rushes from the room, allowing Zatanna to free Artemis and run.
Wait! Zatanna! She's his partner!
Then why did she help me?
Don't know. Secret.
Side note, I always love this trick.
Oh, that little...
The two escape to the backyard and find a grave.
Greta Hayes, beloved sister.
Harm finds them yet again.
They defile Harm's holy place.
We defiled it. You did this to your own sister.
She was the only thing Harm ever loved. That's why she had to go. Harm's heart had to be pure.
This time, he has to confront not a threat, but a specter in both senses of the word. Without his purity, he cannot wield the sword. And without the sword, he's nothing, and quickly dispatched. Greta returns to her grave, and Zatanna urges Artemis to talk again.
Secrets don't stay buried, obviously.
But instead, she lies to our face.
I don't have any secrets.
I don't say why, because spoilers. Before leaving, Artemis spots a magic shop across the street, with a single illuminated word. So, this episode, it's damn good. The humor lands, the fight sequences are decent, and the production values are generally really high. But none of that compares to the plot and writing. The Party B plot is fine, with little to complain about, but not really anything noteworthy either. But the A plot, I cannot say enough about this. They managed to make the Edgelord actually cool, which is accomplishment enough. The addition and utilization of the Ghost is also great, because it not only gives the seemingly indestructible villain a weakness, but it is a great misleading tool. Zatanna and Artemis don't know what to make of her, and Harm only notices her when it's too late. Her single word responses are great as well, emphasizing the mystery throughout. It has little to do with other Young Justice episodes, which makes it a really good standalone. But if you've watched the series, then there's even more that you can get out of this episode, specifically from the scene that I've excluded. Both Artemis and Zatanna are very good here, with strong character and performances. This episode is incredibly well done all over. It's better as a ghost story than a superhero one, but of course it is. Why else would I pick it for October? Hopefully, you've found the fables before you frightfully fun. But, if you have not, I've got another video for you before the end of the month to really scare you silly. Mwahaha! Oh, I've really gotta stop being this campy if I want to be taken seriously.
This time I might just disappear. This time I might just disappear.
Next time, we follow a girl stepping inside another world to save her parents.